Hi everyone, and a very warm welcome to you all. It's a true pleasure to see you here today. We're going to be talking about a topic that I know is close to the hearts of many of us as we enjoy our golden years: how to maintain our vitality and well-being, and specifically, how to manage our health in a way that is both effective and enjoyable. Many of us have heard from our doctors about the importance of keeping our blood sugar levels stable. It's a key to having steady energy throughout the day, supporting a good mood, and protecting our long-term health. But let's be honest, sometimes the advice for managing sugar can feel a little restrictive. It can seem like we have to say goodbye to the sweet, enjoyable foods we love. Well, what if I told you that nature might have provided a delicious and surprising ally? What if there was a sweet, satisfying fruit that could actually be part of the solution for stable blood sugar, rather than being part of the problem? That's exactly what we're going to explore together today. This presentation is titled Sapodilla, Chikoo, a natural sweetener for stable blood sugar. You might know this fruit better by its other common name, chikoo. For some of you, it might bring back fond memories. Our goal in our time together is to understand how this humble, sweet fruit can play a supportive role in healthier aging. We'll gently unpack the why and the how. We'll look at the special nutrients inside Sapodilla that make it so unique, particularly its high fiber content, and explain in simple terms how these components work with your body to promote balance. Most importantly, we will emphasize the crucial principle of moderation. This isn't about eating large quantities, but about making smart, informed choices. So, whether you're already familiar with the rich, honey-like taste of Sapodilla or you're hearing about it for the first time, I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this journey into a natural approach to wellness. My hope is that you'll leave here today feeling informed, empowered, and perhaps even a little inspired to make a small, positive addition to your diet. Thank you for your time and attention. Let's begin. Before we dive into the specifics of Sapodilla, it's important that we lay a foundation by talking about why blood sugar balance is so particularly important for us as seniors. You've likely heard the term blood sugar or blood glucose at the doctor's office, but let's talk about what it really means for our daily lives. Think of blood sugar as the primary fuel for your body cells, much like gasoline is for a car. When we eat, especially foods with carbohydrates, our body breaks them down into glucose, which enters our bloodstream to be used for energy. Now, a healthy body manages this process smoothly with a hormone called insulin, which acts like a key, unlocking our cells to let the glucose in. However, as we age, our bodies naturally undergo changes. For many of us, our cells can become a little less responsive to that insulin key, a condition often referred to as insulin resistance. It's like the lock on the cell's door gets a bit rusty. This means the glucose has a harder time getting into the cells where it's needed, so it stays in the bloodstream, leading to higher blood sugar levels. This is why stability is so crucial. You can see on the slide a simple graph. The red, spiky line represents unstable blood sugar. Imagine this in your body. After a meal high in refined sugar or white bread, your blood sugar can shoot up rapidly. That's a spike. This gives you a quick burst of energy, but it's often followed by a sharp crash as your body releases a large amount of insulin to cope. This crash is what leads to that familiar feeling of fatigue, brain fog, irritability, and sudden hunger a few hours after eating. On the other hand, the green, stable line is our goal. This is what happens when we eat foods that release energy slowly. There's no dramatic spike and no corresponding crash. The energy is released gradually, providing you with steady vitality throughout the day. You feel more consistent, both physically and mentally. Beyond these daily ups and downs, long-term instability can pose more serious risks to our health as seniors, including potential impacts on heart health, kidney function, and nerve health. But please don't let this alarm you. The wonderful news is that by understanding these processes, we can make powerful, simple choices in our diet to promote that stable, green line. And that's where the foods we choose, like the sapodilla we'll discuss next, become our valuable allies. It's not about deprivation. It's about choosing smarter fuels for the magnificent engine that is your body. Now that we understand our goal for stable energy, let me introduce you to the star of our discussion today. For some of you, this fruit might be an old friend. For others, it might be a delightful new discovery. Let's meet the sapodilla, more fondly known in many parts of the world as the chikoo. As you can see on the screen, it's not the most flashy fruit on the outside, is it? It's often a small, round or oval-shaped fruit with a thin, brownish skin that has a somewhat sandy, fuzzy texture, almost like a soft-skinned potato. Its humble appearance is part of its charm. It doesn't shout for attention, but what's inside is truly a hidden treasure. Now, the real magic happens when you cut it open. If the outside is humble, the inside is pure delight. The flesh is a beautiful, soft brown color, sometimes leaning towards a reddish brown or a golden hue. It has a smooth, almost creamy texture, similar to a very ripe pear or a soft persimmon. And right in the center, you'll find a few hard, black, shiny seeds. These are not for eating, of course, but they're easy to scoop out. But where the sapodilla truly wins hearts is with its taste. Imagine a flavor that is a unique and natural blend of sweet caramel, a hint of brown sugar, and the malty richness of dates. Some people even say it tastes like a cross between a pear and a brown sugar cube. It's a deeply satisfying, mellow sweetness that is far more complex and interesting than the one-dimensional sweetness of refined sugar. This isn't a tart or acidic fruit, it's a genuinely comforting, dessert-like treat. Beyond its wonderful taste and texture, this fruit has a fascinating history. It's a tropical fruit, native to parts of Mexico and Central America, but it's now grown in many warm climates around the world, including here in Southeast Asia. In fact, it's a fruit with a double life. The same tree, the sapodilla tree, is the original source of chikoo, the natural latex that was the primary base for chewing gum for many, many years. So, this unassuming tree has been providing sweetness in more ways than one for generations. So, to summarize, we have a fruit that is humble on the outside, but offers a creamy texture and a uniquely rich, caramel-like sweetness on the inside. It's a natural candy grown on a tree. But as we'll see in the next slides, it's so much more than just a sweet treat. Its true power for supporting our blood sugar lies not just in its taste, but in its remarkable nutritional composition, which we're going to unpack next. Now, let's move from the delightful taste of sapodilla to its most important feature for blood sugar stability. The first and perhaps most significant benefit is that sapodilla is incredibly rich in dietary fiber. You've probably heard doctors and nutritionists tell you to eat more fiber, but let's take a moment to really understand what fiber is and why it's such a superstar for us, especially when it comes to managing sugar. Think of your digestive system as a highway. When you eat simple sugars, like those in a candy bar, a sugary drink, or white bread, it's like a fleet of super-fast sports cars hitting that highway all at once. They zoom directly into your bloodstream, causing a major traffic jam of sugar that results in those sharp spikes we saw on the graph earlier. Your body then has to scramble to deal with this sudden influx. Now, imagine fiber as a kind of intelligent traffic control system. Soluble fiber, which is abundant in sapodilla, dissolves in water inside your stomach to form a thick, gel-like substance. This gel is our hero. When you eat sapodilla, the natural sugars in the fruit are trapped within this gel matrix. So, instead of those sugars being like sports cars racing down the highway, they become more like a slow, steady convoy of trucks. The gel slows down the entire process of digestion and absorption significantly. This means the sugars from the fruit are released into your bloodstream gradually, in a slow and manageable trickle, rather than a sudden surge. This is the fundamental mechanism that helps prevent those sharp blood sugar spikes. It's not that the sugar isn't there, it's that fiber puts a natural regulator on its release. This leads directly to that stable, green line on our graph, the steady energy we're aiming for, without the dramatic crashes. But the benefits of this fiber gel don't stop there. It also helps you feel fuller and more satisfied for a longer period after eating. This can help with managing appetite and preventing overeating, which is another important aspect of overall blood sugar control. So, by choosing a fiber-rich fruit like Sapodilla, you're not just getting a sweet treat, you're making a choice that actively helps your body manage energy in a smoother, more balanced way. It's a natural, built-in mechanism for stability. And as we'll see next, the fiber is just one part of Sapodilla's impressive nutritional profile that supports this goal. Building on our understanding of fiber as a natural traffic controller, this brings us to a very helpful concept that puts all of this into a simple, easy-to-understand framework, the glycemic index, or GI for short. Now, that might sound like a complicated scientific term, but I promise you, it's a wonderfully simple tool that can guide our food choices. Think of the glycemic index as a speedometer for food. It's a scale that measures how quickly and how high a particular food causes your blood sugar to rise after you eat it. The scale goes from 0 to 100. Foods are categorized based on their speed. On the high end, from about 70 and above, we have high GI foods. These are the speedsters, the foods that hit your bloodstream like those sports cars we talked about. Think of white bread, white rice, sugary cereals, and soda. They digest rapidly, causing a fast and high spike in blood glucose. That's the red zone on our traffic light visual, the zone we want to avoid for stability. Then we have medium GI foods falling in the yellow zone. These are a bit slower, but still require some caution and portion control. And finally, we have the low GI foods, which score 55 or less. These are the slow and steady performers. They are the ones that provide a gradual, sustained release of energy, the green zone, which is exactly where we want to be. So, where does our friend, the Sapodilla, fit into this? You'll be pleased to know that Sapodilla is classified as a low glycemic index fruit. With an estimated GI ranging between 35 and 55, it sits comfortably in that green go zone. This scientific classification confirms exactly what we learned about its fiber content. Eating Sapodilla leads to a slow, manageable rise in blood sugar, not a sudden spike. This is why the GI is such a powerful tool. It allows us to look at a sweet food like Sapodilla and understand its true impact on our bodies. It helps us move beyond just thinking sugar is bad to a more nuanced understanding that the source and the speed of the sugar matter immensely. A can of soda and a serving of Sapodilla might both taste sweet, but their journey through your body is completely different. The soda is a high GI shock to the system, while Sapodilla is a low GI, gentle sustainer. Choosing low GI foods like Sapodilla is a proactive strategy for maintaining that steady energy line we all desire. And the benefits continue, because this fruit also delivers a powerful package of essential vitamins and minerals, which we'll explore next. So far, we've seen how Sapodilla acts as a natural blood sugar regulator through its fiber and its low GI. But its benefits extend far beyond just sugar management. This is where the fruit truly shines as a nutritional powerhouse for overall senior health. Think of it this way. While the fiber is managing the fuel delivery, the vitamins and minerals in Sapodilla are like a dedicated maintenance crew, working behind the scenes to tune up the entire engine in your body. Let's meet this essential crew. First, we have potassium. This is a critical mineral, especially for heart and blood pressure health. As we age, maintaining healthy blood pressure becomes increasingly important for cardiovascular function. Potassium acts as a natural vasodilator, meaning it helps to relax the walls of blood vessels, which eases pressure and supports healthy circulation. It's like giving your circulatory system a gentle, soothing assist, ensuring that the energy delivered by stable blood sugar can be effectively transported wherever it's needed. Next, we have a team of antioxidant superheroes, vitamins A, C, and E. You can think of antioxidants as the body's rust protection. Throughout our lives, and even more so as we age, our cells are damaged by unstable molecules called free radicals, a process known as oxidative stress. This stress is linked to aging, inflammation, and a weaker immune system. The antioxidants in Sapodilla directly combat this. Vitamin C is a star player for immune function and skin health. Vitamins A and E are fat-soluble antioxidants that protect our cell membranes from damage. Together, they form a protective shield, helping to keep our cells healthier and more resilient. Furthermore, Sapodilla provides important minerals like iron and folate, vitamin B9. Iron is crucial for creating hemoglobin, which carries oxygen in our blood. Adequate iron helps prevent anemia, which can cause fatigue and weakness, something we certainly want to avoid. Folate, on the other hand, works closely with iron in red blood cell formation and is vital for nerve function and cognitive health. It's like ensuring the body's oxygen supply and communication systems are running smoothly. So, when you choose a Sapodilla, you are not just choosing a fruit for blood sugar stability. You are choosing a food that actively supports your heart, your blood pressure, your immune system, your energy levels, and your cellular health. It's a holistic package. However, and this is a crucial, however, to access these benefits without negating them, we must talk about the most important rule of all, moderation. Because even the healthiest fuel can cause problems if the tank is overfilled. Now, we've just spent considerable time celebrating the wonderful benefits of Sapodilla. We've talked about its fiber, its low GI, and its fantastic nutrients. It might be tempting to think, this is a miracle fruit. I should eat as much as I want. And that leads us to the single most important slide in this entire presentation. This is the point where we must bring balance to our enthusiasm. The headline here is simple, but it cannot be overstated. Moderation is key. I want to be very clear about this. Sapodilla is a healthy addition to a balanced diet. It is not a medicine or a cure. The sweetness we taste, that delicious caramel flavor, comes from natural sugars, primarily sucrose and fructose. While the fiber in the fruit helps our body process these sugars slowly, the fundamental truth remains: if we consume too much, the amount of sugar entering our system can still overwhelm that beneficial, slow-release mechanism. Think back to our traffic analogy. The fiber is a great traffic control system, but if you send an endless convoy of trucks onto the highway, you will still end up with a traffic jam. Too much of any sugar, even a natural one, can lead to a blood sugar spike. This is why portion control is not just a suggestion, it is the essential practice that allows us to enjoy the benefits while avoiding the drawbacks. A good, safe starting point for most seniors is to enjoy half to one small fruit per sitting. This gives you a satisfying sweet treat and a dose of nutrients without overloading your system. You can see on the slide the visual recommendation. A single, modest portion is what we're aiming for. It is also absolutely critical to understand that incorporating Sapodilla into your diet is a dietary choice, not a replacement for any prescribed medical treatment. If you have been diagnosed with diabetes or prediabetes and are on medication, you must never reduce or stop your medication based on eating this or any other food. That decision can only be made by your doctor. The goal here is to use smart food choices to support your overall health plan, not to replace the expert care of your physician. So, let's reframe our thinking. Instead of seeing Sapodilla as a free pass for sweetness, We should see it as a superior alternative. When you have a craving for something sweet, choosing a half of a sapodilla is a far wiser decision than reaching for a cookie, a piece of cake, or a sugary drink. It's about making a swap that benefits your body. And to make that swap successfully, let's now talk about some simple, safe, and delicious ways to enjoy it. Alright, we've established the why and the crucial how much. Now, let's get to the fun part, the how. How can we practically and safely incorporate this nutritious fruit into our daily routines in a way that is both enjoyable and beneficial? The key is to keep it simple and let the natural flavor of the sapodilla shine. The absolute best and simplest way to enjoy sapodilla is fresh and raw, all on its own as a snack. How do you know it's perfectly ripe? A ripe sapodilla will yield slightly to gentle pressure, much like a ripe avocado or peach. The skin might still look unassuming, but it should feel a little soft. To prepare it, simply wash the fruit, cut it in half lengthwise, and use a spoon to scoop out the sweet, creamy flesh, avoiding the hard, black seeds in the center. This method gives you complete control over the portion size and allows you to appreciate its unique flavor fully. Enjoying half a fruit in the mid-morning or afternoon can be a perfect way to combat sugar cravings with a healthy option. Beyond eating it plain, sapodilla can be a wonderful addition to other healthy dishes. One excellent idea is to add small, cubed pieces to a bowl of plain yogurt or cottage cheese. The natural creaminess of the sapodilla pairs beautifully with the tanginess of yogurt, creating a satisfying and protein-packed snack or light breakfast. You can also add a few cubes to a small fruit salad, combining it with other low-GI fruits like berries, apples, or pears. This adds a burst of caramel-like sweetness that can elevate the entire dish. However, it is just as important to talk about how not to enjoy sapodilla if our goal is blood sugar stability. The benefits we've discussed are for the whole, fresh fruit. We must be cautious of forms where the fruit has been processed. This means it's best to avoid sapodilla that is canned in heavy syrups, used as the main ingredient in sugary jams or desserts like rich puddings or ice creams, or blended into large, concentrated juices. These preparations often add significant amounts of refined sugar, which completely negates the blood sugar stabilizing benefits of the fiber and turns our healthy choice into a high-sugar one. Finally, and I cannot emphasize this enough, this is a gentle suggestion for your dietary exploration. Always consult your doctor or a registered dietitian before making any significant changes to your diet, especially if you have a pre-existing condition like diabetes. They can provide personalized advice based on your unique health profile and medications. With that safety principle in mind, let's now bring all of this information together into a simple, actionable plan. As we near the end of our discussion, let's take a moment to bring all of these pieces together into a clear and simple action plan. My goal today was not to overwhelm you with complex information, but to empower you with knowledge that you can easily use. Think of this summary as your personal checklist for making sapodilla a beneficial part of your life. First and foremost, remember the core mechanism. Sapodilla is a fiber-rich, low-GI fruit. This powerful combination is what makes it a smart choice. The dietary fiber acts as a natural traffic controller, ensuring the natural sugars are released into your bloodstream slowly and steadily, preventing those energy spikes and crashes we all want to avoid. Its low glycemic index rating confirms that it is a safe and sensible option for sustained energy. This leads directly to our second and non-negotiable point, moderation. Please engrave this word in your mind. Sapodilla is a healthy supporting actor in your diet, not the main star. Its sweetness is natural, but it is still sweetness. The recommended portion of half to one small fruit per sitting is your golden rule. This allows you to enjoy the taste and reap the benefits without overloading your system with sugar. Third, Appreciate that this fruit offers more than just blood sugar stability. It is packed with essential nutrients. With every mindful portion, you are also giving your body potassium for heart health, antioxidants like vitamins A, C, and E to fight cellular damage and boost immunity, and minerals like iron and folate for vitality. It's a holistic health boost in a small, sweet package. But most importantly, I want you to leave here with this final thought. Enjoying Sapodilla is just one part of a healthy lifestyle. True well-being comes from a combination of many factors, a balanced diet filled with a variety of vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains, staying hydrated, engaging in gentle, regular physical activity as you are able, and maintaining social connections. Adding Sapodilla is a simple, positive step within that larger picture. It's not a magic bullet, but a delicious tool you can now use with confidence. You now have the knowledge to make an informed choice. You understand how it works, why portion size matters, and how to enjoy it safely. You are equipped to turn this information into positive action for your health. Thank you for your attentive listening. I now welcome any questions you might have. And that brings us to the conclusion of our formal presentation. We've journeyed together from understanding the importance of blood sugar stability to meeting the unassuming yet powerful Sapodilla, and finally, to creating a simple, actionable plan for enjoying it safely. My sincere hope is that you leave this room today feeling not anxious or restricted, but empowered and curious. Empowered with the knowledge that you have more control over your well-being through the simple, daily choices you make at the table. And curious to explore how natural, whole foods can be delightful allies in your health journey. The information we've covered is a general guide, a starting point for a conversation with your own body and your healthcare team. This point is so important that I want to reiterate it one last time. I am here today as a health educator sharing knowledge about nutrition. I am not a medical doctor. Therefore, the most important step you can take after today is to have a conversation with your personal physician or a registered dietitian. They understand your unique health history, your current medications, and your specific needs. They can give you the green light and perhaps even offer personalized advice on how to incorporate a food like Sapodilla into your diet in a way that is perfectly safe and beneficial for you. They are your ultimate partner in health. Now, I would be delighted to hear from you. I know we've covered a lot of ground, and you may have questions. Perhaps something I said wasn't entirely clear, or maybe you're wondering about something specific, like where to find good quality Sapodilla, or if it interacts with a particular medication, or you have a personal experience you'd like to share. Please don't be shy. There is no such thing as a silly question when it comes to your health. Your curiosity is welcome. So, with that, I will open the floor. For those who are comfortable, please feel free to raise your hand or just speak up. For those who may have a question later, my contact information is on the screen, and please feel free to approach me individually after we adjourn. Thank you once again for your valuable time and for your engaged participation. It has been a pleasure speaking with you all today.